What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Due to technical difficulties last night, I was not able to record my Evolution video, so I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of that, and then we're going to go into the Raw recap. We started off with a musical opening from Lizzie Hale and Nita Strauss. The first match was Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alicia Fox and Mickie James. It was a decent match. Trish Stratus won with the chick kick on Mickie James. We then had the 20-woman Battle Royal, which was an okay Battle Royal. My biggest thing was about a quarter of the people participating weren't on the active roster. So it's kind of like, what, if they were to win this, they would get a title shot? I really don't think so. They were just filler. They probably could have been used up by the active roster and probably would have been a better Battle Royal. Anyways, Nia Jax won by throwing over Ember Moon. We then had the finals for the Mae Young Classic, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. This was a really, really good match. I liked it. Toni Storm won with the Storm Zero, so she is the winner of the Mae Young Classic. We had the Riot Squad versus Bayley, Natalya, and Sasha Banks. It was an okay match. I kind of think that these 6 people probably would have been better off in the Battle Royal. Sasha Banks won with the Frog Splash on Liv Morgan. We then had the NXT Women's title with champion Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler won after some interference from her horsewomen buddies, Duke and Schaefer. We had Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was a brutal match for a last woman standing match. Tables, ladders, chairs, everything was used. Becky Lynch powerbombed Charlotte Flair through a table that was out on the floor. Charlotte Flair couldn't answer a 10 count, so Becky Lynch retains her title. She's supposed to be facing Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series, so I'm going to be guessing in December we're going to have a table, ladders, and chairs match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. That's just my guess. We then had our main event, Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship. This was an match. Brie Bella interfered quite a bit. I'm not surprised that she didn't get the disqualification on this one. But Ronda Rousey won with the armbar and retains her title. And as I previously mentioned, she'll be facing Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. Before the first ever women's pay-per-view, it was actually pretty decent. I would say probably the 2 best matches were the ones that had absolutely nothing to do with the Raw or SmackDown roster, which was the Mae Young Classic match and the NXT match. So we go from a good pay-per-view to a train wreck of a Raw. We start off with a recap of Roman Reigns stepping down. Then we have Baron Corbin coming out. He's holding the Universal title. He says that he hopes Roman Reigns comes back, except just not to Raw. Then Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out. Paul Heyman runs his mouth as usual. He talks about Crown Jewel and how Brock Lesnar is going to be winning the match. Then Braun Strowman comes out. He says that he will be the next Universal Champion and that Brock Lesnar will get these hands. Lesnar and Strowman start to stare down. Baron Corbin tries to split them apart. Corbin and Strowman start fighting. Braun Strowman power slams Corbin 3 times, and then Brock Lesnar gives Strowman an F5. After that, Brock Lesnar stands tall holding the belt, which will probably mean he's not going to win it at Crown Jewel. We then come to our first match, Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. Again. Leo rushes at the ring, running his mouth. I would seriously like to know who thought it was a good idea to give this man a microphone. You can basically just skip this match. It was pretty much a cookie cutter of last week and the week before that and everything else like that. Nothing really special happened except for Leo Rush pushed Finn Balor from the top rope, causing a disqualification. After the match, Bobby Lashley beats down on Finn Balor. That's it. We go backstage where Baron Corbin tells Bobby Lashley that he'll be replacing John Cena at Crown Jewel. Then we have 10 women tag team match. Oh boy. Lita, Trish Stratus, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya versus the Riot Squad, Mickie James, and Alicia Fox. Alexa Bliss is at ringside. Once again, let's jam every woman we can into one spot just to get them on TV. There was absolutely nothing interesting in this match. Alicia Fox taps out to the sharpshooter, so the faces win. We then have Elias in the ring, wasting more time as usual. We have a recap of when Elias broke the guitar over Baron Corbin's back. And then Elias says that he's going to go hunt down Baron Corbin because he's got a song for him. He then go backstage. Elias runs into Baron Corbin's office. He stands outside, starts to play a song, basically calling Baron Corbin Stephanie's bitch. Afterwards, Jinder Mahal jumps Elias, and we have our next match, Elias versus Jinder Mahal. This is an amp match. Elias won with the drift away. We're really picking up a pattern through this whole show, and we're really not even through the first hour. We then have a triple threat tag team match with the Authors of Pain versus The Ascension versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Oh, Jesus Christ, really? Okay, we just added a third person to it, but we're still having The Ascension versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Holy shit, how many times are we going to see this combination? I don't care if you put 5 other tag teams in it, we're still seeing Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the goddamn Ascension. Bobby Roode won, pinning Victor. Okay, next. Afterwards, the AOP beat down Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, so I guess we're probably going to be seeing Chad Gable and Bobby Roode versus the AOP for the next 6 weeks. Then we have Seth Rollins coming out. He thanks the crowd for the support of Roman Reigns. Then he says that Dean Ambrose has turned his back on the Shield and then calls him out. Dean Ambrose music hits, but he doesn't come down the ramp. He's up in the crowd. Seth Rollins tells Dean to get down from the crowd and meet him in the ring. Dean Ambrose doesn't. He stays up in the crowd. Seth Rollins calls Dean Ambrose a selfish SOB and that he's going to make Dean Ambrose's life a living hell. We then have Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. Once again, this is an M match. The action was decent. Right when it was starting to get interesting, Tamina comes out. This apparently stops the action between Nia Jax and Ember Moon. As they stand there watching her come down, Nia Jax jumps back onto attacking Ember Moon, hits her with a leg drop, and gives her a pin. Tamina then runs into the ring. They stare down. Tamina backs away. Okay. I don't know where they're going with this one. We then have the Lucha House Party versus the Revival. Kalisto won with the Salina del Sol. We have now relegated the Revival to being a joke tag team. They've just replaced the B team. We then have Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre coming out. Ziggler talks up Crown Jewel and the World Cup Challenge. And then we have our next match, which is our final match of the night. Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews. Well, the rest of the matches have been a disappointment so far. Why not we just finish it off with this one? It was an alright match, and that's really stretching it. Dolph Ziggler got the super kick and won it. Okay. We have the final segment of the night. The Undertaker and King come out. The Undertaker actually says more than 12 words this time. The Undertaker says that the Brothers of Destruction will be taking DX to the gates of hell. Then King calls out DX. Triple H comes out. He's looking around for Shawn Michaels. He starts to motion that he's going to be coming out from the back real soon. Kane jumps out of the ring, starts to make chase, and then Shawn Michaels comes out from the crowd, tries to attack the Undertaker. He misses, but hits a super kick, knocking the Undertaker down. Shawn Michaels scurries back up the ramp. King gets back in the ring. The Undertaker sits up, as he's known for, and then we have a stare down between DX and the Brothers of Destruction, and that ends tonight's Raw. Oh my god, this was painful. Okay, we went from a good pay-per-view from Evolution to this train wreck. Holy shit, this sucked. Then again, we're talking about Raw. I think probably in the history of me doing the Raw recap, I think maybe 5 times, Raw has actually been pretty decent. The matches were absolutely horrendous. There really wasn't much to them. And to be honest, I was actually more intrigued with the talking sections than I was in the matches. Anyways, once again, hopefully SmackDown will be better than Raw. Hell, it can't be much worse. But that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought of this video, or also what you thought of Evolution. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.